Jason, the Orange showed just how far their depth can take them as they got big contributions from several players, including Dion Waiters, James Sutherland, Chris Joseph, and Scoop Jardine. Plus, Rakeem Christmas and Baikita came up big on defense to help the Orange get farther than they made it last year when they lost to Marquette in the round of 32.
The Bills are hoping to build on last year's 5-2 start as training camp opens for the 2012 season. They added some big pieces in the offseason with the goal to end what is now the NFL's longest current playoff drought at 12 seasons.
This story continues to unfold as Syracuse firing Bernie Fine in the wake of today's revelations. ESPN releasing a recording made by alleged victim Bobby Davis having a conversation with Fine's wife Lori.
And BMX not only for the Olympics in the streets of London. If you've never been on a course or bike yourself but would like to, help is just a short ride away at a local BMX track down in Bridgewater.
Jen out in front. Curry tries to make a move.
Every great athlete needs a place to cut their teeth, and for future Olympic BMXers, tracks like CNY BMX are that place.
This is a good building block for it. Once the kids, if they've been racing for a while, they usually take that next step, go to the state, regional, national level, and at that point the tracks become a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more dangerous, I guess you could use that word.
Nick Rauch is not only the director at the track in Bridgewater, but he's also a rider. Jason, this was a tough game for SU, especially with the officiating. As Julie Boeheim passed the media in the hallway after the game, she even joked, I guess the refs are going to the Final Four. Well, questionable calls on both teams aside, this one tough for SU, the Orange, especially with the absence of a certain center all tournament.
It was a beautiful day for golf here at the NB3 Challenge, though fans didn't pack the Adunio the way they usually do. Tiger Woods was the big draw coming in, but it was the team that won in 2010 making the biggest waves.
Jay, people were reminiscing about the 2012 Hall of Fame class here in Cooperstown. Of course, the two members, Barry Larkin and Ron Santo, and really a lot of great things were said about these two deserving inductees.
There's nothing quite like football training camp season. Just ask the Colgate Raiders, who are back here at Andy Kerr Stadium getting ready for another exciting season of gridiron action in the Patriot League.
We're great friends, everybody, so, when we make a big play on offense, we let the defense know about it, and, vice versa. So, it's just great to be out here, once again, and start the season.
Training camp is all about getting reps no matter who you are, because you never know who's going to make a splash later in the season.
Walk, see what the freshmen are going to do, and they're nervous and see how they're going to react. And, I think that's the neat part about it is just, that somewhere down the road, somebody we're not counting on is going to step up and play, and we're going to find out. And no pads on, beautiful weather, everybody's here, so it's great, and we're undefeated, which is important.
The team is excited to be back because the start of football season brings a lot more activity to the little town of Hamilton.
Colgate football is pretty big here, so I think a lot of people are excited for this year to come. We come back here week 3, and just the student body that comes out to support us for that game is great. Parents out here, alumni. This environment's pretty great, for that first game, and I mean you're glad to be back here in front of your hometown.
That week 3 game is against Sacred Heart on September 15th. But first, the Raiders open the season on the 1st at UAlbany. On the campus of Colgate University, Mike Levin, News Channel 2 Sports.
There's nothing quite like Induction Weekend in Cooperstown. It brings together the greatest players in baseball history to welcome a new class to the Hall of Fame.
It's the icing on the cake. It's the finale. Your career is done. 5 years later, 6 years later, now you're in a select group of guys.
It's a chunk of our game. It's what these players have meant to the game of baseball. And more than that, the excitement in the fans.
Not all of these guys are Hall of Famers, but everyone's just here to enjoy the big weekend, which culminates Sunday in the induction of Pat Gillick, Bert Blyleven, and Roberto Alomar.
One time in my career, in 19 years, I struck out 3 times in a game, and it was against Bert Blyleven. Robbie Alomar was very deserving for him, and Pat Gillick, his record speaks for itself.
While the focus this weekend is on Gillick, Blyleven, and Alomar, you can't help but notice the star power as you walk up and down Main Street. Even baseball's hit king is here for Induction Weekend.
It's just a fun weekend for the world of baseball, and I'm happy for Bert, and I'm happy for Robbie, and 2 deserving guys going into the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose isn't the only big name here who has yet to hear his name called for induction. Jim Cott was endorsed by Blyleven, who says Cott was a big influence in his career.
It's been flattering to hear him say that I did a lot for him, because I think The biggest thing I did for him was stay out of his way and just tell him, throw your curve over the plate and you'll be fine, and that seemed to work out okay.
But no matter who's in and who's not, this weekend is all about celebrating the national pastime in the birthplace of baseball. In Cooperstown, Mike Levin, News Channel 2 Sports.
Now, News Channel 2 Sports with Mike Levin.
Good evening, everyone. In preparation for next week's visit to the Odd by the Harlem Globetrotters, former Siena star Tay Firefly Fisher went to a pair of local elementary schools to teach kids about the team's cheer program. Needless to say, the Firefly was a hit with the kids I saw in Deerfield.
I'm just talking from the heart, so therefore there's nothing that I really need to rehearse or anything. There's nothing is a lie. The Globetrotters are ambassadors. The Globetrotters have been around for 86 years. People love us. So I'm just happy that I'm in this situation, and to come to a school is always great for me because one day I want to become a teacher. As a young kid, I never had a chance to see the Globetrotters. I have to let them understand the reason why I'm here today is because I never stopped working hard. I never gave up. And as much as I can, I like to make sure that the kids understand what's going on, and hopefully they can be successful as well.
Oh, you're right. There is 2 E's.
I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood. It was hard for me to even get into college, but I just kept working hard. And I feel like being a mentor, being a role model, becoming a teacher, even a Globetrotter, that I got to connect to the kids early. I feel like if you do it early, such as at the elementary level, that eventually they'll get it later.